Welcome back to another episode of Card Talk, a podcast where we spend just a little bit of time talking about cards from Lord of the Rings card game. I'm your host, Dave Walsh.
And I'm Ted Bannock, and I love asking questions about cards. And
it's so funny. For a minute there, I thought you were going to say, and I'm Grant Thompson, just along for the ride. But you didn't. Grant's not here this time around.
I did not. I would, but I don't want to dwarf his contribution to the show when he is here. But unfortunately, he's not. Yeah. So we're just going to have to go through a different line of questions I have to ask you.
Well, before we talk about some of before you ask me all these questions. Yeah. I missed that one. I'm sorry. I should have been.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Long night here. We need to talk a little bit about how you can connect with us at Card Talk. Before we go through all the pod stuff, we do have a play series that Micah does over on our YouTube channel. He records a couple of scenarios every month and has deck building restrictions that he gives himself kind of randomly, and so that goes on. It's been going on for a little over a year now, I think. So catch Micah. Usually he uploads his stuff every other Sunday-ish. You know how we do here at Card Talk. You know, we're about those days. And then we have Matt over at the pod, Cat Attack 22, who keeps up with the pod over here. He writes the blog. The blog is found at cardtalk2018.com. You can email us if you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, queries, cries, quandaries, quotes, or quarrels.
Or questions.
Oh, right. If you want to that you can access, right? At cardtalk2018@gmail.com. Especially that guy over there, that Ted, he's the answerer of a lot of asked questions.
That's true.
And then we also have a Patreon if you want to help keep the lights on. We have some swag brewing. It's been a little sporadic here, the swag, in the past year-ish or so, but we got some swag brewing for our dedicated patrons that I think is going to be pretty cool. So patreon.com/cardtalk2018. That's where you can find us. But enough of the pleasantries here. Let's not clown around.
No, we got business. We got business to attend to.
We got business to attend to. So axe away, buddy. What card are we talking about today?
Today's card, to everyone's surprise, is Dwarven Axe. It's out of the core set, card number 41, in case you were wondering.
It's oddly specific information.
It has a tactics attachment with a cost of 2. It is a traded item and weapon. It reads attached to a hero. It is keyword restricted. And the text reads as follows: attached hero gains +1 attack, +2 instead if attached hero is a dwarf. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Ted, I'll axe you before you axe me. What do you think of this? I mean, you've been part of the game since the very beginning, right? So you can kind of talk a little bit more, genuinely about how this card has fared over the life cycle of the game. So what's your take on the Dwarven Axe?
Well, if you have a limited card pool, especially the core set, there's a small number of ways to boost your attack, and this is one of them. So if you're wondering, have I ever put a Dwarven Axe on Legolas the Elf? The answer is yes. That has happened. The nice thing is that
my axe.
I just so and when that happens, I imagine he's like putting the axe in his bow and then firing tiny axes at the orcs.
No, that's
Or
the new
whoever.
Dream Chaser card where you get to throw the axe across the table.
Yeah, right. So it's a static bonus, and out of the core set, to pay 2 resources for only a +1 bonus is kind of much, but to get that +2 bonus on a dwarf, that's really what you want to do with this card. And in the core set alone, you have 3 targets because you have the 2 tactics dwarves in the core set, Gimli and Thalin, and then you have Glowin also out of Leadership Sphere.
Right.
And they're all pretty good. They're all pretty good targets because they have a base 2 attack, and that puts them to 4, which is pretty decent. And then Gimli only gets stronger with his ability, so you can easily get him up to like 5, 6, 7 attack. Super easy in the core set alone.
Right.
The only thing is this card got a little overshadowed almost immediately when the Dwarven cycle came out, because they put a 1-cost axe that gives you +1 bonus and deals an auto damage when you attack with it. That I think we've done an episode on, the Dwarven Axe.
Right, and I think that damage is done if it's an orc, isn't it? Conditional damage.
No, it's just all the time. You're thinking of the Blade of Gondolin in the core set has
I'm sorry.
+1 against orcs, but the thing is, you can run both.
Yeah,
you can run because you just need to boot if you're running a fighty type deck and you got dwarves. And this card is also versatile, where the Dwarven Axe has to go on a dwarf. I think it's dwarf only. This one you can put if on another hero. If you're like, wow, someone else's, you sit it out down a table, and really someone else's Legolas is like doing work and has no weapons. Like, give him an axe, buy him something nice with your dwarf money.
With your dwarf money.
But over the course of time, it's still okay for dwarves, but if you're putting in a not a dwarf, there's like a ton of better options. And this does help for players that have the full card pool. It became more relevant when the 3 Hunters contract came out, because that card once restricted, right? So when you're playing dwarf 3 Hunters, you get its cost reduced to 1, and then you get +2 attack, and I say that's value. So kind of had this like bell curve of kind of like being good and then going down, and then kind of at the end going up again a little bit.
It's also an option. I'll throw this in there for like when you're doing like a Council of the Wise deck, and you need, because the Council of the Wise deck you can only play 1 card each. So if you're just looking for a lot of, different attachments, that's not necessarily the way you play Council of the Wise, because it's kind of triggered off of events, but you can't just have 50 events in your deck. So, like if you're looking for attachments to do something, like this can be okay for that. For that build. There may be other things that you'd want to do, but who knows?
It's still a weapon too, so it triggers other tactics cards like Foehammer to exhaust it. Foehammer lets you draw 3 cards. What's the other one? Orc Slayer, right?
I knew it as soon as you until you said that.
Yeah, right. And now that's the name that's stuck.
Foehammer and Goblin Cleaver. That does the direct damage. Not nearly as popular, but you're killing me.
Right. But yeah, it's a 0-cost card. You exhaust a weapon, do 2 damage, and you need weapons to fuel those cards, and those cards are good. So like if you pair all these different dwarf weapons and then you pair them with these other tactics weapons event, it's good. It punches. And a lot of times too, I'll say having higher attack is oftentimes it's better than reducing the enemy's defense. Because
I don't know if I agree with that, but I mean, there's times.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, yeah. Let me ask you why.
So some enemies are immune to player card effects.
True.
so you cannot reduce their defense with a card like Gryffindor Blade. And additionally, some enemies
Like
don't have
like Gryffindor Blade. What did you just say? What is we crossing our?
Yes, the Gryffindor Blade.
Yes, Gryffindor.
From Hogdell.
Yeah, right.
The Rivendell Blade, excuse me.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you
articulate.
said. Right. It's been a late night here at Card Talk. Everybody's got to stick with us. These are some of the best episodes because we're not taking ourselves too seriously right now.
Right. The other point was some enemies have low defense. So if they only have one defense, or there's enemies with no defense, then you're better off having higher attack to do more damage. So
yeah,
that's all.
A couple of things that I will add in the because it's core set, and Ted, you hit the nail on the head for me. Is that like if you have a limited card pool, the Dwarven Axe is not a horrible card, and it never was a horrible card. It just kind of, as your card pool grows and grows and grows, you just find more appropriate weapons to use. So that's one thing. So it's still decent. 2 cost for +1 is a little, I don't know, it's tough, but on a dwarf, but on a dwarf, it's fine,
Yeah, and there's a lot of dwarf heroes too.
There's a ton of dwarf heroes from the very beginning.
If you pick up the Hobbit boxes from the Hobbit saga, you
Good
get
luck.
A boatload of new
Right. You get Thorin, and you get all those things.
And even in Khazad-dûm, you get Dwalin. He's the spirit hero who gets reduce the threat when you kill an orc, so you need to boost his attack from his base 2. Now he's a 4. A lot of good targets.
Yeah, and I also think that I feel like people only want to put the Citadel plate onto Gimli. They're like, Gimli, that's gonna bust. Let's put 2 Citadel plates, or with a golden belt, 3 Citadel plates, and Gimli. But you take Gimli from the core set, and if you can't find that Citadel plate or can't afford that Citadel plate, this is a great secondary option to include in your deck as you're trying to find the Citadel plate, or on top of the Citadel plate, because the Citadel plate only boosts Gimli if you take the damage. So, you need to, so this is a great option with that limited card pool from the core set.
Yeah.
Though, of course, there's other, like you said, the Dwarven Axe, there's just things that ended up being better. But not, so much better that the Dwarven Axe became irrelevant.
Right. And like I said, a lot of times when I'm running dwarf decks, I want to attack. I run both. I pick Dwarf Axe and Dwarven Axe, and now I have all these. I'm happy to get any one, because I'm not. You need to have more than a single weapon in your deck if your goal is to boost your attack, or multiple ways to boost your attack, I should say. Right. And this is just another option. Yeah.
As always, it is a weapon, so you can use Open the Armory to go find this thing if you need to. That's it hits all those things. I don't know, when you bring out Galadriel, this is a thing that can be reduced down to 0, and Galadriel will pay for it for free. Galadriel the ally.
Yeah.
But that's not different than other it's not special to the Dwarven Axe that does that.
Right, exactly.
And it's also another option for the Burglar's Turn contract, where you take 14 attachments and you put them up to the side, and but again, it's not,
and if you're running dwarf heroes, you're going to have dwarf targets, it's worth it to get a free attachment that just gives you +2 attack. This is good.
Yeah. So there's cases to use it, and there's more cases, that are, I don't want to say strong, but like there's a lot of different cases to use it, and but if you're using it for the +1, it's probably not the best, because you can just use the what is it, the Dunedain, whatever signal gives you the +1 attack. Dunedain attack. It's not that, but
yeah, there's a lot better options.
That one's not even restricted.
To get +1 attack,
right?
Certainly.
Right. So I don't know, but it's all right, right?
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's a dwarf axe,
right?
And
what do you think of the artwork of that dwarf axe?
I was gonna. So let me ask you this. So I like it because it has this. I don't know. A lot of artwork for Middle Earth is depicted as having this illuminated quality, and I think that's shown where the blade is like reflecting some kind of light.
Right.
But if you, so I think it looks like a dwarf style axe to me. It kind of shines to it. But there's a ring in this picture.
Is it a ring, or is it just like a red cup? Like it looks kind of like a ring.
It looks like a gold ring to me.
I don't know.
Because I get okay, because it's like whatever. I'm gonna zoom in super close.
I'm trying to zoom in. Maybe it is a ring that's been like the finger has been chopped off, so it's like blood soaked.
I could see where you would think it's like a cup, and then there's like a brown type liquid in it,
like a shallow cup though, like a bowl cup.
But it's like whatever is in it looks to have the same texture as like the floor.
It does.
So it makes
it does.
So I'm like, is this just like axe, like chilling? Like, here's the one ring, and then also this dwarf axe.
Right. My question about it, and I do like the artwork, like you said. I think that this is one of the better pieces, although it is an axe. It's not a person. Like it's an axe laying on a floor or table or something. But I've never seen an axe with a red ribbon flying off.
I noticed that too.
Doubles as a like a color guard when the color guards twist and turn and perform with the marching band. Coming from the high school teacher, that's what this looks like. It's like let's take my Dwarven Axe and perform with them.
Wow! I never. Holy smokes!
What?
So
did you just find the full art?
No,
okay.
But I never. There's a reflection of someone's face that I never noticed in this picture.
Really? What?
In the upper left-hand corner, there's an eye, and then there's like an outline of their nose, and then
mouth. Jesus! Holy cow! That freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's clearly an eyeball.
It is clearly it looks nose with a big fat mustache.
And then you can see there's a lip, and then and then there's like a white row of teeth.
Yes. Yo, secret unlocked.
I have never noticed that.
You hear it here first. 13 years after the card is released, folks.
The card for how many? Yeah.
Right.
I think because your eye is drawn to the bright.
Here's the thing. What we need to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell people to if you're listening to this, stop, go over to the video in YouTube, okay, and we'll have it. I will try to find the art and I will insert it right around in here, the full art, and I will zoom in on that face because that is crazy. And I'm looking at Hall of Bjorn, and you can zoom in and you can see it too. Like you don't, but like. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That just changed my whole opinion of this. Like now this art, I don't care about the ring. I don't care about the, freaky little ribbon coming off of there. This is great art. That's the type of detail that you got later in the game that wasn't there in the core set, but is there in the core set right there.
Yeah. I think it's actually a really good piece because that's crazy.
Wow.
So we'll mirror rating this card. We'll face reflection this card.
Well, we can ring it. There's a ring right there, right?
Oh, there's just a ring in the picture. I give it one ring.
Right, because that's what's there.
It's got one ring in the picture.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, or maybe may have forgotten, we have a highly scientific yet arbitrary system to rate a card on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is the one card to rule them all, or one of the best cards in the game, and then a 10 is a card that we throw back in the fiery chasm from whence it came, or not a very good card in the game. So, Ted, give me the 30-second ring rating you have here.
Again, it's like overshadowed by some stuff, but +2 is still pretty okay. So I'm gonna give it like a 5.
Yeah,
it's like right in the middle, because like it's still very playable. It just depends on your heroes. You just got to run dwarf heroes with it to make it worth
that eye is staring right at me. And
I know, you can't unsee it.
I am unnerved by it. I swear, if you're a veteran of this game, tell me that you have seen this, or tell me that, oh my goodness, I've never seen it before. I want to know. I actually want to know somehow, whether you're commenting on our post on Facebook or whatever. Like,
what'll be funny is all the comments will be like, "Of course, there's a face there."
I know, right?
How did you not see the face?
Right.
We're like going to be late to the thing.
Right. Brandon from Cardboard of the Ring said this back in episode 3, right? Something that's like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 5. I want to give it like a 2 because of the face and the because of the face, but
the artwork it is good. Like from the core set, it's got that treasure type appeal to it. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna give it a 5 for all those reasons. Same. I'm gonna agree with Ted. So, well, everybody, there you have it. It's our Dwarven Axe episode with the face and the axe. So, everybody, have a great day.
Do you love the content? Here's what you can do to stay connected. Become a patron. The money collected through Patreon goes into keeping the lights on here at the podcast. We love our patrons, and you can join at many different levels. Visit patreon.com/cardtalk2018. You can subscribe to us, whether you're watching our YouTube channel or you're listening to us in your favorite podcatcher. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications of all our new episodes. Didn't know we were an audio podcast? Find us by searching Card Talk to get access to our 120 plus regular episodes. Didn't know we were a video channel? Find us by searching Card Talk LOTR LCG on YouTube. And there you can find not only our regular episodes, but you can find our bonus playthroughs and other content related to the game. Want to get a hold of Ted, Grant, or myself? Feel free to email the podcast at cardtalk2018@gmail.com.